I'm Faye Watt, and let's queer up students and youth culture. Religious parents sue Maryland School District over staff using students' chosen pronouns. A pair of religious parents have filed a federal lawsuit against Maryland's and Arundel County Public Schools after teachers used their child's chosen masculine name and pronouns at school without informing them. The lawsuit, filed on July 8th, asked the court to require school staff to use the student's birth name and the pronouns associated with their sex assigned at birth. The parents are represented by the conservative legal organization America First Legal, founded by Trump advisor Stephen Miller. According to the complaint, the parents learned on December 10th, 2025, that teachers had been using their child's chosen name. School administrators reportedly declined the parents' request to revert to the student's legal name, citing district policy. And Arundel County Public Schools states that students have the right to be addressed by a name and pronoun that correspond to the student's gender identity. The parents argue the policy violates their constitutional rights and conflicts with their religious beliefs, which they say teach that, quote, God creates each person as male or female, and that biological sex cannot be changed. The district declined to comment on the lawsuit, but confirmed it was aware of the complaint. According to the Movement Advancement Project, 15 states currently require schools to notify parents when transgender or non-binary students request different names or pronouns. You know, parents absolutely have rights, yes, and kids deserve safety too, right? And schools are trying to navigate real lives, not political talking points. The bigger question is this: if your child doesn't feel safe telling you who they are, maybe the lawsuit isn't where the family work should begin.
Correct. I completely agree. Yeah. I think if the parents spent as much time on understanding their child and listening to their child as on fighting it, I think things could get resolved within the family and things could be agreed on, right? Yeah. And, I've counseled a lot of younger people that are transitioning with their therapists. And I always tell them, people are transitioning with you. Your family is transitioning with you. So as you said before, parents do have rights, and I believe parents should know. But if they're in an unsafe environment, then you don't want to also put that child at risk. So it's really are all these new laws, situation. Aren't they all about protecting the children? And This is how you protect the children. And you're not. And as parents, you should be the ones to protect your children and whatever makes your children feel safe at that moment,
I think when you think about when they get older, they're going to remember this. And that's when I feel like that's when it's going to come back and haunt the parents, because that's when these students become rebellious. They have no mental therapy access, and we have seen stories after stories and statistics after statistics about LGBTQ youth and needing mental therapy, and they're imposing this trauma onto their child by doing this as well.
Well, you presuppose that they get older.
True.
Suicide rate among trans kids is among the highest statistical category that you ever see. So despite the fact that the parents are trying to martyr themselves on these faux wood crosses, the real victim in this is the kid. Right. I feel so bad for the kid. I expect that the Supreme Court will let Maryland's law stand. They've seemed to be kind of taking to trans issues state by state approach. So I think in this particular case, I think in Maryland, blue state, I think they will win. But for God's sakes, keep religion out of schools. Let that kid have some time to be themselves. You have to, it's already hard enough to be a kid.
Yeah.
Just a kid in general. Then if you're going to try and be an out trans kid at school, if you would rather face your peers than your parents over something like this, my God, that kid's got to be he's got to be in hell at home.
Time, sure.
Sad. Well, there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.